We're pivoting now to athletics here on the SportsMax Zone. The Barbados National Track and Field Championships are set to start Friday evening with a number of the country's top athletes set to take part. Two-time world bronze medalist at the World Championships and, of course, Commonwealth Games champion Sada Williams headlines the list of the island's top athletes on show at the Usain Bolt Sports Complex just outside of Bridgetown. Now, based at the MVP Track Club in Jamaica, head coach Paul Francis shed some light on the progress of the Barbadian.
Her training this year has been somewhat pleasing. She has put a little more effort in completing her workouts, and the result has shown. She has gotten faster and stronger. So, based on what we have seen so far, preparations, it's very, very pleasing because she has improved somewhat from previous seasons.
Francis also hinted that though globally the Paris contenders may be running fast, he's confident Williams will be ready for the challenge.
At present, I would say what she has shown in training is extremely encouraging, and without saying too much, I would say initially when the 48s started dropping out of the hat, having a quarter mile in your care, you tend to wonder, wow, are we out of it? But then she drops her own stuff out of the hat and you're no longer afraid. She's ready to take on anybody.
Joining the zone via Zoom now is Barbadian track and field analyst Captain Michael Jules. Welcome to the show, Dr. Jules. How are you?
Hi. I am doing well. How are you?
I am good. I just had some very interesting news coming out of the U.S. trials where 16-year-old Quincy Wilson just ran 44.66 in the preliminary round of the 400 meters, a world under 18 record, which is ridiculous considering that he's 17 next January.
Yes, I heard that there were some teenagers in the U.S. running some ridiculous times. So we'll see how things will turn out. The U.S. National Championships and Olympic trials, that's coming up. So we'll see how things will turn out for those youngsters against the seasoned athletes.
Okay, let's turn our attention to Barbados because that's where we're focusing on for today. Give us a sense of what are we to expect from your country's top athletes. We just heard Paul Francis talk about Sada Williams. I'm sure there are others who the country will be looking forward to seeing them perform this weekend.
Sure. Well, in terms of this being an Olympic year, of course, we know that Sada Williams has already qualified for the Olympics. There are just a few more, though, that all eyes will be on this weekend. We already had the throws. I don't know if you're aware that the Usain Bolt Sports Complex is not able to facilitate javelin and discus. So those events were contested yesterday at the Coleridge and Parry Secondary School. The bright spark coming out of that was Kayla Thorpe, who is based in the U.S. She has Barbadian parents, and she had a championship record of 49.14 in the women's javelin. She had a 53.44 throwing at the NCAA championships. However, this is a far cry from what is needed to qualify for the Olympics. Turning our attention to the track, in the men's 100 meters, of course, all eyes will be on Mario Burke. He has a season best of 10.22, and again, far from the 10.00, which is required to qualify for the Olympic Games. Maybe with the competition he'll get from Ajani Inks and Kuron Griffith, these two guys, they've both run 10.30, 10.33. But again, it's still a pretty far cry from the 10.00 required. You mentioned Sada Williams in the women's 400 meters. she will pretty much, in my opinion, be running alone. There's Tiana Boyne. I don't know if you remember her from back in the day as a Carifta athlete.
Yep.
She had a track scholarship a while back. She had a child, and she started running again. She competed in Grenada over the Whitsun weekend. 55.15 is her season best. So that's really the opposition that Sada Williams will have in the 400 meters. Again, the Olympic qualifier there is 50.95, and Sada has already run the Olympic qualifying standard. I'm going to pause for a minute just in case you want to make any comments.
Yeah, I know that Jonathan Jones has had an injury issue. Can you confirm that he is out of the trials and hence out of the Olympics?
Yes, I don't see Jonathan's name on the start list at all for the 400 meters. And another notable name, not just Jonathan Jones, but Kyle Gale. You would remember Kyle Gale at the Carifta Games in the Bahamas when he broke the Usain Bolt's record, and then it was said that he had stepped over the line a couple of times. But he has been in good form this year. However, I understand he's injured as well. So pretty much that men's 400 meters will be without those two guys. Raheem Tate Bess, he had a 46.53 this year. And Deshaun Boyce, who has a personal best of 44.85, but recently he hasn't been in that 44.85 shape at all. So it seems like the men's 400 meters will be without any qualifiers for the Olympics as well.
Yeah, not a good picture there being painted for Barbados, Mike. Akila Jones I know she has had a lot of injury issues and so on, but I didn't hear of a retirement from her. Of course, heptathlete who won World Junior Long Jump gold. Very, very big, strong, talented athlete. But
yes.
Did she officially retire?
Well, no official word from her, but I can tell you for sure she has not been competing. And this is probably over a year that Akila Jones has not been competing in track and field. So I think it's safe to say that she has hung up the track shoes.
Yeah. What about your women? Tristan Evelyn, your fastest runner at the moment.
Yes.
What can we expect from her in the 100 sprint?
Right. So Tristan has posted a season best of 11.03 seconds.
Which is the qualifying.
And the Olympic qualifying 11.07. Again, we have to see if she will have any opposition in that event. Not an official qualifying performance, however. No real competition. We have Adia Brewster, 11.50 is her season best, and Anaya Nurse, a young athlete with a season best of 11.76. So I think Tristan will have to dig in and compete against the clock if she wants to secure that time to get her to the Olympics.
All right, Captain Michael Jules, we've got to leave it there, but I just have one quick question for you. I know you were a former stadium manager. The National Stadium at Waterford, what's the story with it in 15 seconds?
So the story is that the stadium is going to be taken over by the Chinese sometime soon. I understand that an agreement was reached between the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment and the Chinese government. And so we can look forward to 2028 for a completed new national stadium.
Okay, thank you very much, Mike. Great talking to you again, and all the best for your trials this weekend.
Yes, thank you. Nice seeing you again.
All right, brother. Okay, so the trials in Barbados will be staged at the Usain Bolt Sports Complex, which is some distance away from the National Stadium, pretty close to the university at Cave Hill there in Barbados. We go to a break after we tell you that it's the end of the week, and today's Olympic build-up feature is our Friday Vox Pop. The Max fan, Kimani O'Sullivan, was on the road.
SportsMax family, it's Friday, so you know what that means. Roll the bump. We're here in halfway tree St. Andrew, and it's time for the Max Fan. Today on the Max Fan, we're in an important part of St. Andrew because behind me you can tell those screens are usually where the Olympics is broadcast live, and majority of people would gather right here in the square just to watch the races on these screens. But today, I'll be asking our Max fans to do one thing: assemble your all-time 4x1 team for the men. Let's go.
Would I put Usain on the team? Warren Weir. Asafa, cause I'm old, but him not cold. What the next one name? Come on, you must catch one today.
Him still run? Yeah, Johan Blake.
Him dep on the team though. Yeah.
Who would run which leg?
Well, Usain would have be the anchor because we have to catch it back. Asafa would have started because I know him got him little injury. Warren Weir would have be second because I don't know what him been do. And then what that little man the name what you say?
Johan Blake.
Johan Blake would have go before Usain run because we have to make the team win.
Oh, for example, Asafa Powell, Usain Bolt, Nesta Carter, Michael Frater.
All right, who's on which leg?
Bolt lost it, Frater started, the Powell, and then Usain Bolt. What else would you say again? Nesta Carter.
Johan Blake, Usain Bolt, Tyson Gay, and Gatlin. Asafa instead of Gatlin.
Sure about that?
Sure about that.
Who's running which leg?
All right. When Tyson Gay starts to Blake back, no, Blake at third leg. Usain anchor, Asafa to Tyson Gay, Johan Blake, Usain.
Asafa, followed by Tyson. What Tyson last name? Gay. Yeah, Tyson Gay. Nesta Carter. Big up yourself, Nesta. And then don't know the infamous Usain Bolt, but done it. So that would be my top four. That was definitely my top four.
Usain Bolt, Donald Quarry, and young Blake, the younger one, and the guy from KC. What's his name? Nkrumah. That's my team.
Favorite four is Asafa Powell, win more Ghana 10 seconds more than anybody else. Usain Bolt, the big man, Michael Frater, my boy, and Johan Blake. That's my favorite four.
That's all we have for today's episode of the Max Fan. We'll catch you next week. We might be in your backyard or up your street. See you next time.